Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. I don't even know where I'm going. I don't know where that came from. Don't get your hopes up. I don't know what the hell. I think I was going to do something with that, and I ran out of breath like midway through. Welcome to Don't Get Your Hopes Up, the podcast. With this is just getting like the downhill into like not epic is like it's getting steeper. So
welcome to.
Sounds from our mouths. Today on the show, we have special guest, Josh.
Special guest?
Yep.
Am I being, like, removed?
Well, you weren't here last week.
I mean, that's true. Neither were you, just saying. So also joining us, special guest, Mike B.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's been a very interesting 2 weeks. Last week, some stuff came up last second that kind of got spaced. We forgot about, and they were like, "Well, crap, we'll just do the podcast next week."
Yeah,
and that was pretty much it. And so now here we are. And
I mean, it worked out because we had like nothing to talk about last week, and then everything happened this week.
Yes, I was just gonna say like everything that we have to talk about is all this week's stuff. Like the headline for last week was space engineers said that they might do they're planning on doing an exploration mode. Ta-da! Like, there was the headline for last week.
Hooray!
Woo! So, first off, I guess the first thing we should talk about, which just makes a whole lot of sense actually, for the two of us, is what happened to Tankspot.
Yes. What did happen to Tankspot, Mike B?
I know. And
from ZAM Network.
I am ultimately the person most qualified to discuss this.
What'd you do to my baby?
I know. I felt so bad. And like, here's the thing: like, it's not our fault. So Tankspot it's a community that's been around for a long time, and over time, communities they tend to taper off, and you always get these hardcore like groups of people that continue coming to the site, and it's great. It usually turns into like a cool, tight knit community. I used to run a community back in 2001, 2002, and I still talk to those guys, but on Facebook, it's like 25 of us or so. But we kept the site alive, like these forums alive, for a long ass time for no reason. Like there was no point in keeping it alive for that long. There was like one post, like maybe a day, maybe, right? And Tankspot was kind of getting to that point. After you left, so I could kind of say that you're the one that killed it. After you,
I've
left,
abandoned my child.
it kind of went south in terms of traffic. Because there was a lot of people going there just for like the raid guides and everything, and that was not happening on a regular basis. So
yeah,
as a company, it was ZAM. Like it came up for discussion to close it down like probably a year and a half ago or so, and I was just like and we would just forget about it. We love Tankspot, and we were just like, we know that it's not really doesn't make any business sense to keep it around, but we're just gonna pretend like it's just there and just ignore it. And everything was fine, but then things started kind of falling apart, and it was like, oh crap, well now it's like going to cost us money to go and fix this thing, to put people on it and sacrifice features on bigger sites. So there was a couple of things that came up that we went through and we fixed, and numerous times it came up, we had to close sites, just sites that are getting like zero traffic, and Tankspot was always kind of set aside. Well, we had made the decision like a few months ago, like, hey, we're definitely going to close the site, and we actually sent an email to remove it from like our analytics and stuff, just to kind of take it off that list. But then again, we kind of slacked on the actual doing it part. But I did take the time to talk to Kazi and I think who did I meet at BlizzCon? But I very briefly spoke to one of the guys at BlizzCon too. And I told him, I was like, yeah, this is coming. It's just a matter of like when at this point. But I'll give you guys a heads up. I was like, I'll give you guys a heads up because I'm not going to just be like, click, click, it's done. Fast forward to like last night. Yeah, like last night. Get an email from our system administrator, and he's like, hey, so the TLDR is basically there was some bad code. There's a lot of custom code put into Tankspot, which I'm sure you're aware of.
Yeah, it was always like a huge problem, like installing. I think it was running on vBulletin still. installing like vBulletin updates, because then like half the site had to be recoded to fit the new thing every single time. So yeah, it was always a major problem.
Yeah. So this problem came up, and there's basically we found vulnerabilities in some of the custom code without even going through all of it, and we had no choice but to cut it off. And so we basically shut down the site, and we left it there. We were going to address it in the morning. This happened last night. I was actually in the city. I wasn't even available to really do anything about it, like to tell people what was up, which sucks. And then the next morning, this morning, it was basically just kind of catching up with everything and talking to some of the guys. I direct messages a lot of people. I talked to you about it, because I mean, your concern was that we were going to just like drop the tankspot.com name. And you're worried that like some tank porn site would actually pick it up.
Yes, that's exactly what I was worried about.
But no, we absolutely will not drop the name. If anything, we would just redirect it to like our forums or something, or to the raid guides, which would make the most sense, I think.
Yeah, probably.
But
well, especially because like Wowhead is getting isn't Wowhead getting some raid guides?
Yes. So we actually made a deal with Method.
Right, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if I had that sudden panic moment of like, wait, where did I hear this from? Did I read this on the site, or did someone tell me this? I don't, because obviously I still talk to a lot of people from like ZAM and the general community and like people from Method and so on. So I was like, wait a second, did someone just tell me this, or was this on the site, or what?
Yeah, it's so we're getting raid guides. The stuff that we put out so far are really good. Getting a lot of traffic, traction, and everything, which is awesome. So anyway, so with Tankspot, they made a Facebook group, and I think it was the guy who actually I told to make a Facebook group, right? He made a Facebook group, and it was kind of, I think it's a temporary spot, because all Tankspot really needs is basically a shout box. It should just be a giant site, which is a shout box. I can't. A lot of questions are being asked, like, can you give us the code for it? Like, people want the code. It's like, we can't do that. Like, that's thousands of people's personal information in a database that we've already deemed unstable or insecure. So we absolutely
not to mention like the vBulletin. Like vBulletin is sort of weaved into everything at the site, and that code is licensed. Like that would be violating the vBulletin license to give that to somebody.
Yeah. So we're I'm right now I'm actually talking to a lot of the guys, and we're going to determine and we'll take our time with it. There's no need to make like rash decisions or anything. But what I want to do is if Tankspot decides to come back in the form of whatever, as long as like I get the seal of approval from pretty much people like you or Kaz or Agathon or any of the long-standing members. If you guys kind of give me the thumbs up, then I will point that domain in that direction, and
Sweet.
That'll be that.
Sweet. Yeah, like it definitely was sort of it sort of came out of nowhere for me, because like I didn't know that it was like slated to get shot. I mean, I kind of figured eventually like nothing was really happening there. It never really had anyone step in and sort of take the site over after I left. And like make sure, like there was definitely people posting content, but it sort of came and went, and nobody really stuck with it. And a lot of the stuff never really got the reach that, like, I don't mean to sound like I'm trumping myself up here or anything, but like it never really got the reach that the stuff that I was putting out was getting. So yeah, I was even my stuff was starting to taper off towards the end, just because it was the same stuff over and over and over again, and like the raid guides every once in a while would come out, but like I wasn't able to keep up with putting out raid guides as fast as the team of like 5 people we'd had before were doing it. So yeah, so I kind of expected that at some point Tankspot would get shut down. It was just sort of a surprise today, and I was just kind of like, huh. Well,
it sucks. Like this is actually very similar to how my forums went down. It was basically hacked, and the database was corrupted beyond repair. And all I had was like an old backup. Restoring Tankspot with an old backup does not make any sense, because it's insecure.
Yeah,
the code is still there. So yeah, it's basically yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I love Tankspot. I mean, I used to post BFF report there and everything, and
Yeah.
and that's actually how I met you. So it was like, I definitely love me some Tankspot, and so we'll find a way to do something with it that's not lead to a white page.
Yeah. Fortunately, I've already made my $70 billion off of Tankspot and purchased my mansion in Southern California.
I heard.
And
I actually heard that you actually outbid Beyonce and Jay-Z
yeah, I did.
on this
I did.
place.
You should come over and check out my ridiculous mansion sometime.
I heard there's you have 15 toilets, don't you?
Something like that. I also have like a wall of candy
Oh,
that like
man.
has candy just in a wall.
Yeah.
I even got a bunch of those stupid M&Ms like figures to just stand there because fuck it, I'm rich. Why
because
not?
yeah, because you have $70 million. Why
Yeah.
not? Like,
Yeah,
just have to
exactly.
blow on this kind of. But I mean, like, you think about like how many toilets that is. Like, you could poop in a different toilet every day for 2 weeks without repeats.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Like,
I'm
could
letting
be-
Notch use it right now.
Oh,
so-
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, I'm actually really broke and I want people to think that I have tons of money, so can I
Uh-huh.
just use your mansion? I'm like, that's cool. I'll just keep living in my tiny apartment in Irvine and you can go and have my enormous mansion.
I mean,
That's
it's
exactly how that went.
the way that the place in Irvine, I feel like it's in a bit more of a kind of a like the environment is just a. It's not quite as hustle bustle as being in the Beverly Hills
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just kind of nice to be surrounded by people on every wall. Like, it's kind of nice to know that there's somebody there in case in case you need
Yes.
something,
In case I need something, I can just pound on the wall and someone will come over and shout at me. No, but seriously, Notch, what the hell, man? He like bought what was it, like 70 bajillion, I don't know, more money than I will ever see in my entire life.
Yeah.
Mansion in Beverly Hills. And it's ridiculous. Like, what the hell? How do I make like tiny games and sell them for $10 and make billions of dollars off of that? That aren't even feature complete. Like, how did Minecraft? How did Minecraft?
I don't.
How did we get to this point? The internet. The answer is 4-year-olds, but
The answer, yes, the answer is very much that. It is. I mean, he sold Mojang for 2.5 billion or something.
yeah,
Or
and that's
2.4 billion,
like
somewhere in there. But
that's like pocket change compared to the rest of the money he already had, too.
yeah,
Like,
and yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. It's not like he got a piece of that 2 point whatever billion, which he didn't get like all of it. Like, they didn't go like wire transfer right to his bank account. Like, he got like a
Right.
piece of it but he already made tons of money on Minecraft alone. Like, that house
Yeah.
was very easily bought off Minecraft a long time ago.
yeah, I think people have been estimating his worth to be like his overall worth to be something like 70 billion or something retarded like that.
Wow.
I don't know how much of that number is completely made up, but I wouldn't be surprised either.
But imagine he outbid Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like,
Yeah.
imagine being Jay-Z and Beyonce and being like, did we really just who is this guy that outbid us? And then they
Yeah.
go, they look up, he made a fucking video game. I'm sure their kids are probably like, oh, that guy made Minecraft, that's awesome. And they're like, this shitty game? Like, the graphics are terrible.
Yeah.
And he bought this. Oh, man. It's impressive.
Yep.
And good for him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's getting plenty of hate for it, but fuck it, good for him.
Yeah, I'm absolutely good for him. Like, he did a thing and made a ton of money off of it.
Mhm.
Like, that's like, he's like Swedish or something, but that's literally the American dream, is fuck around for 20 minutes and make billions of dollars. Okay, it took him more than 20 minutes, but still. Like, this is the most American possible thing that could have ever happened. And I say that knowing that anybody who, like, I want, for all of our international listeners, it's a very tongue-in-cheek thing. I obviously, whatever, doesn't matter. America.
You know, I mean, speaking of American Dream, the best part about American Dream is, obviously the freedom to like do like whatnot. Like he basically made a game. He made a ton of money.
From Sweden, but yes.
From Sweden. No, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, it's the American Dream is this, right? Here's this guy who basically made a thing and it made a lot of money. And here in the States, we kind of ride the whole thing of the freedoms of being able to do such thing. And obviously there's freedoms of speech and freedoms of this and that, whatever, kind of all tie into that. And you'd think that, he's from Sweden. There's room here for like North Korea to kind of move in. I'm trying to transition here hard, dude. It's not working out. But there's room here for North Korea to, go and live the American dream too, right? Like by using their freedom of speech, right? Because that works out. Help me, Lord. You just left me out there, dude.
This is a pretty easy transition. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
thank you. Please.
Notch, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He basically started off from very humble beginnings, much like Trey Parker and Matt Stone did when they made StarCraft. Where did that even come from? When Trey Parker and Matt Stone made StarCraft,
the worst transition ever.
Game of the Year 27. No. When Trey Parker and Matt Stone made South Park, it was very, very sort of humble beginnings, like construction paper and a camera, basically. They put that together. Went on to have this huge career. Obviously, South Park went extremely well. But they also made movies for a while, like movies like Orgasmo and movies like Team America, which if we're talking about the American Dream, you have to mention Team America, which, by the way, is being shown at a theater in Texas instead of The Interview because North Korea.
Wait. No, it's not.
No?
No, they Paramount actually pulled the plug on that whole thing.
They pulled the plug on,
like, they're banning the playback of Team America in theaters.
That's what wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That's like a right now thing. Let me see.
Wow.
Hold on.
That's extra hilarious. This is getting more hilarious as time goes on.
Let's see. Paramount bans showing Team America.
Wow.
Let's see. 3 movie theaters say Paramount has ordered them not to show Team America World Police one day after Sony Pictures surrendered to cyber terrorists and pulled The Interview. The famous Alamo Drafthouse in Texas, Capitol Theater in Cleveland, and Plaza Atlanta in Atlanta said that they would screen the movie instead of The Interview, but Paramount has ordered them to stop.
So basically the thing that I want to say about all of this. So obviously we're talking about North Korea is threatening cyber terrorism and actual terrorism. I guess that cyber terrorism is still actual terrorism, but like physical terrorism against theaters that are showing the movie The Interview, which is basically a movie about assassinating Kim Jong-un in North Korea.
Yep.
Also various other things, but yeah, that's basically the gist of the movie. Sony Pictures then said, right, nobody show this movie because the public line is because we're worried about these bad things happening, and I think that's good. Like, okay, precautions, good. Like maybe North Korea can't actually do the things that they're saying they're doing, and a lot of people have been theorizing that might be the case. But good to be safe. But also, if I'm Sony Pictures right now, I am loving this. Like, I am pulling The Interview from anything that I possibly can and being very, very vocal about how this movie is too dangerous to watch. It's too dangerous to be shown. No one can see this movie because terrorism might happen as a result of it. So that when it inevitably does come out in some capacity, it's just flooded everywhere. Like, if they find a way to just pump this thing directly to DVD, they will sell every single DVD that exists.
Yeah, no matter. I mean, I love Franco and Rogan, especially as a combo, but I'm sure this movie is garbage. It's probably funny, but it's probably not that great of a movie. Mm-hmm. I will still buy it. The shit out of it.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be the least torrented movie of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's. I can't believe that this happened. I can't believe this is happening because of the reasons that they are saying. Right. There has to be something else there, like based off of like a pay spin threat or something, whatever it was. Obviously some things were compromised, some things were leaked. And maybe the people who make these decisions are feeling threatened by that. What if their email was hacked? Like, Sony Pictures. Imagine if every movie decision that was sent via email by people who are probably not very good at interneting. What if every one of those secrets was leaked out on the internet? Like that could be devastating for Sony Pictures. There's a lot of things they either probably passed up on or decisions that they made that could have potentially ruined movies. Or maybe did ruin movies based off decisions made via email. That if it got leaked out, people would be like, "Wow, like Sony does not know what they're doing with movies." So them doing this could just be it's self-defense.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I think it's good to take those sort of precautions in their shoes, right? And like looking at it from a profits perspective, like how much do they really have to lose? Obviously, like there's always the chance that the movie is going to be a big box office hit or something. But in the holiday season, also The Hobbit just came out, the last Hobbit. Like,
yeah,
what are
right?
you really going to go watch Franco and Rogan do whatever it is that they're doing in this movie? Which, by the way, I saw the preview for it and immediately forgot about it until this whole thing came up. So, like, I forgot that Franco and Rogan were even in it until you said something. I didn't even know what it was. I was like, oh yeah, it's that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of remember now. Yeah, I remember seeing that and going, wow, there's no way North Korea is going to be okay with this. How much money would they have actually made off of it going into theaters and then immediately getting like an 87% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes or something, versus making a big deal out of it, like pulling it from everywhere that they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've even seen people, like, linking leaked footage from it around on Facebook now. Like, this movie is now the holiday event.
Yeah.
Like, what even is The Hobbit anymore? I don't even know.
I know.
Doesn't it have Watson in it? Like...
Yeah, yes, and that's the thing. That's like the other angle. That's the it's like, oh yeah, I mean my email might get leaked, all these secrets might leak out, all that stuff. On the other hand, we could also, it's like a combo deal, man.
Yeah.
Like they can, here's what we might, you said inevitably, and I think you're absolutely correct. We will inevitably see this movie come out.
Oh, yeah.
We'll probably see it come out in like select theaters, like the theaters that paid the most money for the rights to show it, right? To screen it.
Yeah. Like if I'm Sony right now, I am paying like the little shitty like budget theaters tons of money to be like, we got a hold of one of the copies of the interview and we're gonna play it on all 4 of our screens. Like, and just do like an underground showing of it in some places. Like, oh, it's so underground, nobody even knows about this except that we sold every single ticket twice, standing room only in the theater, which is illegal, but it's underground, so it's okay, sort of thing.
It'll be the movie of the year. I mean, in terms of like the most hyped up movie ever.
Yeah. I
mean, like, yeah, I think it's. I'm not saying that they're doing this. I'm just saying if I was, I would do this. I don't know. I feel like it's a great way to build hype for a movie.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like a win-win. Like, A, we get to comply with this potential terrorist threat and hopefully then not actually have terrorist activity happen as a result of it.
Uh-huh.
Like, this is the best possible thing that North Korea could have done for the interview. Like, if they didn't want people to watch it, they should have just left it alone because nobody was going to.
Yeah, right? Other than the best
really,
thing to do.
What are you gonna you decide to go out to watch a movie on December 23rd? What are you gonna watch? You're gonna watch the inevitable showing of The Christmas Story for the 10,000th time.
Oh my god.
You're gonna watch The Hobbit again. and you're gonna go watch Frozen or something. Like, there's 17 options before you get to the interview. And you're gonna see that and go, well, that sounds like a documentary. That sounds boring. I don't want to watch that.
Oh my god.
I'll watch 22 Jump Street.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
So that's hilarious.
That is,
I don't know if I'm just the most cynical asshole ever or what, but like, I totally just see this as Sony being like, yes, please give us all of the controversy you probably can about this bomb of a movie that was going to come out. Maybe the movie's great. I don't know. I don't exactly have high hopes for it. Like I said before, I immediately forgot it existed. So, yeah.
The Interview coming to theaters near you sometime soon. Very, very limited play times. Very expensive tickets. You're probably have to get on StubHub. It's going to be bigger than if Michael Jackson came back and started touring again.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty massive. So,
yep.
You were asking me questions about my NVIDIA Shield.
I was. I asked you a single question about your NVIDIA Shield, which was, do you have one? And then you were like, yes, curious. Do you want to talk about it on the show?
you were curious as to, like, what's it like having an NVIDIA Shield?
I'm curious, yeah, because, like, I got this big overseas trip coming up, and I'm like, I should consider getting myself something for the trip, because it's going to be, like, 15 hours in a plane. So I'd like to have something to do with that time, because I'm incapable of sleeping on flights.
Oh man. Oh yeah, nobody can. Like you're it's like one, you're sitting straight up. Yeah. Right? Even with all that hair, like it's not gonna help. Like you're not gonna can you like wedge yourself into something with that? Probably. But like with the I'm always worried that I'm gonna drool or something or snore.
Yeah, I'm always worried. I know that I snore, so I don't want to be that dick on the plane who's just like
it's even embarrassing to do that head bobbing thing, It's like you fall asleep and you're all like, you're like, oh, I'm awake, yeah. I'm awake.
And you're like sandwiched in between like 43 people, and like you just know as soon as like I'm gonna wake up like spooning the big sweaty fat guy next to me or something, or being spooned by.
Oh.
So
here's what I'll say about that.
About the spooning?
About the spooning. The Shield is good for that.
Good for spooning?
For spooning, yeah. Well, it's good to prevent it. I mean, unless you want. Do you want it? Because it's not good. It's not gonna. If you want it, it'll just happen.
I'm confused.
Okay. So, in regards to flying with something to do, right. That's a tough one. The benefits of having it. So first off, the price came down like significantly, which is why I jumped all over it.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to stay around $199. I think it's competing with the Vita, basically.
Well, they just came out with the Shield tablet too, which is like $299.
Yeah. That's right.
So at this point, the original Shield portable or whatever they call it is like buying a PlayStation Portable at this point.
Yeah. Pretty much. And it's funny because like it's about as big as a PlayStation Portable, really. So it's a pretty neat little device. The battery life, especially once you go in and turn all the shit off, the battery life is pretty significant. So I've already loaded on a ton of emulators, and like I'm back to playing Link to the Past.
Nice.
I'm also playing Majora's Mask.
Nice.
So it's like it's invaluable for that. It's so cool for that. It's also really cool to be able to stream games from your PC to it, which you can do over the air, like off the outside of your network. But when are you leaving?
Christmas Eve, actually.
Yeah. It's first off, I wouldn't try to stream it from like hotel internet in anywhere overseas from your computer at home. That's just a cool thing for me. Like, when I'm downstairs, and, wife's watching some TV that I'm like half interested in, it's perfect for that. I could pull it out and I could play Don't Starve. The PSP can play Don't Starve too, or the Vita. It can play Don't Starve as well, but it's kind of nice that I don't have to buy all that shit again. I could basically just play anything that's on my PC, so long as it supports, controllers. If it doesn't support controllers, and the reason why I say that is because you can load up Steam Big Picture mode on it.
Right.
And if you do that, then of course you could play anything on Steam that has controller support.
Nice.
The ones that don't have controller support, you could use like tertiary programs to kind of like a Joy2Key or Xpatter.
Right.
There are programs like that you could use in conjunction with this thing, so you could basically play whatever you want. Like there's a video of a guy playing WoW. Like he was playing it like it was an action RPG, like kind of like just like an action RPG. But it was, it was neat. Like it's definitely a cool, gadget to have. But for your 15-hour flight, like unless you were really dying to go through and play Link to the Past and Majora's Mask, I don't see it being that valuable to you.
Yeah, well, and like I have my phone, like I have a LG G3, and I actually have a Bluetooth controller. I have a Moga controller for that. So if basically it's not that much more interesting than my phone already is with a Bluetooth controller, then I'm not as interested.
Do you have games that have on-screen controls but don't support a controller?
Possibly.
So it's good for that because it has what it'll do is it'll allow you to assign buttons to areas of the screen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so it works out if you want to do any kind of control or something like that. Any basically that opens it up to pretty much any game that you could touch.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and like the price tag is not bad at all. Like $200 is not bad. So
yeah, definitely. And you already have like so many games that you use a controller with, so it's like for me it was like the same thing. It's like God, I used to have a Droid X and I have a ton of games for it, and so now it's like I got this, I just boom load it all on there, and that's pretty much it. I haven't tried Hearthstone on Hearthstone released on Android. I don't know if you've heard, but Hearthstone released on Android. But the
on Android tablets,
on tablets, I don't know if this counts as a tablet.
How big is the screen?
It's 5 inches. I think it's 7 is the minimum, right?
6 inches is the minimum.
Ooh.
But you totally didn't hear this from me. But if you Google search,
Oh, sorry.
If you Google search for Hearthstone Android, like the top result is how to get it working on anything without root. So,
well, there you go.
I mean, use at your own risk.
Yes,
because,
of course.
like, seriously, then you have to have the tiniest possible fingers to actually click things. If you accidentally tank your rating because, I don't know, you decided to drop a Goldshire Footman instead of Alex Straza or something, that's your own damn fault.
Yeah, you have to like know what your cards are and where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Yep. So it's neat, and with the price reduction, it definitely makes it a solid competitor for other mobile devices. You have to have I know you already do, but I'm just saying this for anyone that's interested. But you have to have a 600 series video card or better because it has a built-in H.264 chip or encoder on the actual card itself, and that's what makes it possible for it to stream to the device. But yeah, so there you go. Yeah, it's funny. The reason why I was like, "Do you want to talk about it on the podcast?" Because you asked me like 5 minutes before we started the podcast.
That's true. What video card do I even have anymore? I don't even remember. I have to look it up.
You have a 700 series.
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm find out.
Fairly certain you have a 770.
I think I have a 770. Yeah. But
why do I know this?
Why do you know and I don't? Yeah. Where even is my device manager anymore? Why can't I find you device manager?
DXDiag.
Oh yeah, that'll work. DXDiag. Load up here. I have... Where even is this? Oh, I have a 670.
Oh, I knew there was a 7 in there somewhere.
Yeah. So that'll still work. It's a 600 series. So.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. You're good. You're totally good.
Damn, I need to upgrade my video card. What am I doing? Maybe I should spend the money on a new video card instead of... instead of a shield.
Dude, check the benchmarks, man. Like, it's weird. So I have a 770, and I was looking at the 980, and like the benchmarks are abysmal. Like, I can't believe that. Yeah, I'm 2 generations behind, and I expected there to be a significant increase, especially going from, you know, not just 2 generations, but also a tier up in the series. No, it's not. It's not that great. So, I mean, from a 6 to a 9, obviously you'll notice, but I would wait for like the TIs, like, you know, or like the 90s. What do they call them? The Titan X's or something like that.
Yeah. Get a 990 or something. What are they gonna do after? What's the next series gonna be? They're gonna be like, oh, it's a 1070. They
could. It'd be kind of boring. 1080, 1080. No, they wouldn't do that. Because a 10. Yeah, my NVIDIA 1080 supports 4K. It's like,
I think they should go into colors, so you can be like NVIDIA black.
Oh
NVIDIA
yeah, it'll be
red.
like Pokemon. No, but how do they do the individual like cards within that series?
So it'll be different shades of the
lightest red. You're a genius. You're a fucking genius.
NVIDIA pink, NVIDIA mauve, NVIDIA mahogany,
NVIDIA lavender. NVIDIA. No, I can see this happening. I mean, not really, but
if you need my address to write me a check, NVIDIA, for that idea, just message me on Twitter. I assume you know where to find me on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
dude, I broke 25,000 followers on my main Twitter, my personal Twitter.
On your personal one?
Yeah,
dude,
I did that like 2 weeks ago on my CM Twitter. I'm actually almost 30K on my CM Twitter. I still don't completely know how to feel about that.
That's incredible. That really is.
I don't know why anybody is still following me on my personal Twitter. I basically just whine about ketchup. That's about it. There's nothing useful that goes out of that feed at all.
But
I guess there's this podcast, but that's only marginally useful.
But you also have like that very, very public face, you know, being with WoW. Like people know, you know, it's just because you don't use it for that, like people know about it.
Yeah. I remember those days of like, I really desperately need to know what Zarim eats. So I'm going to follow his personal Twitter account because if he gets Korean barbecue, then that probably means something about World of Warcraft. I have no idea what that would even be, but it probably means something.
There's some hardcore theory crafters out there. It's like, oh man, Lore's Taco Bell packet was misprinted. We just lost a raid tier. Somebody's drawing weird conclusions like that somewhere.
Yeah. Have you seen speaking of WoW, have you seen the raid tier gravestone?
No, I've not.
Oh, you probably wouldn't, because I think it's Alliance side only. So there's a gravestone outside of like the Alliance garrison that reads like Ray D tier. It's pretty funny.
That is great.
It's pretty funny. I love little things like that. Like, it's gonna cost us a raid tier, because so often it's tied to something that's just completely unrelated.
Oh yeah,
like,
exactly. Like a
Blizzard
Taco
upgraded their servers. It's gonna cost us a raid tier. Yeah, because our database engineers are the people that write the encounters.
Oh man. Yeah. Speaking of garrisons.
Yes.
You guys put out a lot of stuff today.
We did.
A lot of news. If this was legendary, we would spend an entire hour talking about 3 things.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna kind of dabble on them a little bit.
Yeah. I do want to just mention real quick before we jump into this at all. Like, obviously, I like to be as candid as possible about things, but when we're talking about like upcoming game plans, I'm gonna kind of clam up a little bit. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, regardless of whether or not, like, I can say a billion times that everything I say on this podcast is personal opinion and does not reflect that of my employer, and stuff like that. I can say that a million times, and if I say something along the lines of, I think Windwalker monks need an AoE nerf, then somebody's like, Blizzard Entertainment hates monks.
Yeah.
Like, even having said that, I feel the need to clarify that I'm maining a Windwalker monk right now. Otherwise, people be like, why do you hate monks, Laura? You should play one. You don't understand our unique challenges.
Why not that? Why not this other class that I'm, yeah. Oh, my God. Speaking of, so there was like the whole interview that happened.
The interview? Was it the interview?
Dude, oh, my God. So it was, what was it, last Friday or something like that? We did an interview with Holinka, Brian Holinka.
Right.
And we live streamed it and everything. It was really great. And,
that was on the Wowhead Weekly, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I was there to help moderate the chat. And oh my God, dude.
Oh yeah, the chat. Twitch chat is terrible, and the PvP community is a whole bunch of very, very salty individuals. So when you combine the two things, it's like mixing. How do we even describe this? It's like mixing bile with salt water.
Well, I mean, okay. I don't even know where to go with that. It's like, all right, yeah. There's nothing else. So, the point of the whole interview was to talk about the hot topics in the community, not the hot topics in your arena team, right?
Right, yeah.
I believe Arena did come up, but Ashran is like seriously the biggest discussion point right now that we're getting feedback on. People that think that Wowhead is Blizzard, right? Because there's a lot of those people out there. They're angry at us about stuff that's happening in Ashran and the way that it's set up.
Dude, the amount of people, even like when I was doing the Weekly Marmot, and I would do like a whole episode on like how I hated some change or another, and then people would reply to me with, so why are you implementing it then? I'm just like, what? Excuse me, what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it basically what it boiled down to you're not talking about my class and my problem, or the class that I have that's a hard counter to me to my class in my mind, right? Therefore, this whole interview shit, like, and it was just, oh man, it was painful. It was painful to moderate.
Yeah, and like people tend to have a hard time understanding, and with reason, I think, understanding the internal structure of Team 2, which is the team that works on World of Warcraft. Like, people have a hard time understanding that, like, Brian Holinka is not a class designer. He's the PvP designer. Yeah. Like, his job is things like Battleground. Like, his direct job is things like Ashran and Battlegrounds and
that's a very good point.
Themselves, and the specific PvP related mechanics. He obviously a huge part of PvP is class balance, so he talks to the class guys a lot. He sits in their same office and everything. And so he will, like, as soon as someone starts complaining about something or something in PvP, he can just turn around and be like, hey, what's going on with this? Excuse me, but he's not like, much like Ian Hazakostas is not a class designer. Brian Holinka is also not a class designer. Like, Ian's team does raids. Brian and the couple of people that work with him do PvP. Yep. They don't do class design. Yeah. So when you're asking him to clarify things about class design, his answer is going to be, I need to talk to the class designers first.
Yeah. I mean, he did his best to answer questions. I mean, he did, because we didn't ask him those, like, silly questions, about an individual spell for an individual class, or for an individual spec on an individual class. Like, we didn't drill down like that because it didn't make sense. And it wasn't the popular thing overall. But anyways,
sure. And as soon as you spend 10 minutes talking about Mistweaver monks or something, like, everyone who isn't or doesn't play with a Mistweaver is like, why are you spending so much time talking about this bullshit?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think Olivia and Perk did fantastic, and obviously Holinka did good, and all the people that walked by in the office did great too. Yep. So yeah. So anyways, so the updates and everything came out today. Right. I don't know how we got. How many tangent? I don't even know.
I don't know where we were going with that.
Some of the big things for me, the standout stuff is Garrison updates.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I don't think anybody should be surprised that in 2015 there will be additions to the garrison. But yes, like naming a few of them specifically is cool.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing that is arguably probably one of the coolest features in the newest expansion, they're definitely not going to be like, well, that's about all we got for that.
You know, all this unique art that we made just for this one feature, and all this UI work that we did, and all these unique systems that we came up with just for this one feature. It's done. We'll see you guys in the next one.
That's more of a launch thing, not so much a point one. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Garrisons are designed to be something that going into, and we've been very open about this as well. Garrisons are something that we've designed to be. Well, I say we, Blizzard, and the development team have designed to be something that, like, the game can move away from in the next expansion. Like, it's not something like if we add a profession, then every single expansion we have to update that profession. Like, it's not an option whatsoever. And garrisons are sort of designed as, well, they're very, very tied to Draenor. Like, it's almost kind of weird if we move on into the next expansion and just plop your garrison from Frostfire into the middle of wherever we end up in the new place. So, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, I'm looking forward to future expansions when I build a new thing. I'm certain that they're gonna allow us to build a thing to call home, whatever. But
that's sort of the thing, is all the tech behind the garrison was designed to be something that can be applied to different things. Not necessarily like, well, now we have this buildings feature and it can literally only ever be used for Frostfire Ridge and Shadowmoon Valley or something like that. But like it's stuff like a lot like phasing was technology that came out way back in like halfway through the Burning Crusade. They started using phasing for something or other. And then in Wrath of the Lich King, all of a sudden phasing was like everywhere. And then in Cataclysms, like it continued to adapt. And now they're actually not even using phasing anymore. They're using a different technology that allows for seamless instances, which is different, I'm told.
Yes. It's different because what it does is it phases you into
No, seriously, I have talked to a couple of the server guys before, and a couple of the guys from like QA and like the general very technical engineer side of the game, and they actually get really, really mad when you accidentally refer to a seamless instance as a phase. It's like, whoa, okay, I didn't know. It's perceptibly exactly the same to me, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, totally. So it's the things I'm looking forward to is basically more stuff to do with I mean, I was resource starved at first, and now it's like I have the trade, the trade house or whatever, trade something, and
Trading post.
Huh?
Trading post.
Trading post. God, I knew it was something.
Which, in my opinion, is a mandatory building because, oh my god, the resources you get out of that thing.
Yes. Yeah. The like, not only can you buy, obviously, resources as needed, but you can also take resources that you get that you stockpile from your herb garden and from your mine. Because everybody's sitting
5,000 black rock ore.
Yes, yeah, right. Like that's the thing. It's like now I have some place to just dump it in. I have 36. I have a storehouse too, right? So I have 36 work orders worth of whatever it is that I just basically rotting in my bag. Especially the herbs. It's like, wait, these herbs. I have a stack of 100 herbs that have been sitting in my bag for like months. Sure, you could buy them or whatever. Turn it into resources.
And the awesome thing about having the storehouse is that it's like 6.5 days total of work orders that you can put in when you have the level 3 storehouse. So like you can go on vacation and all of your work orders are still going.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's funny. Like I do. I'm sure other people do this too. I check it every like 2 hours, except for when I sleep. Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to go for 6 hours. That way, it's possible that I'll go and I'll get like twice the amount of shit in like whatever it is that I'm going to check. Yesterday, I was in the city, and I did my best not to check it all afternoon. And then I was in the city for for the evening. I came home and I went straight to sleep. I woke up in the morning and I was just like, oh my god, it's like Christmas! Like everything had so much stuff. It was amazing. But
Nice.
I'm looking forward to, because I used the war mill too, right?
Yeah.
I used the war mill. I went and I farmed up all of the scraps that I needed to build like the full cosmetic set, the warrior one or the plate one, which looks amazing, by the way.
Yeah, the plate one looks really good.
Much better than the other ones.
I like the cloth one too, but yeah, the leather one and the mail one, I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah. But I'm still stocking up. Like I still have like a ton of scraps, just kind of just chilling there. I even have like a helm that I could turn into, whatever helm I want, I guess. And it's like so seeing Garrison updates is totally something I'm looking forward to. It's like, yes, give me more stuff that I could just throw the scraps at, throw all these materials I'm like stocking up on. I'm still actually farming up my true steel because I'm still like building and upgrading all, like my set. Yeah, it's. So yeah, my favorite part of the game so far is has some good updates coming. I'm pleased with that.
Yeah. Platinum invasions.
Yeah, is that what they're called?
I don't know actually. I figure they'd be platinum because that's kind of like in line with like StarCraft does the bronze, silver, gold, and then platinum.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the next tier of invasions, because I mean now with like 3 people, it's relatively easy to get gold or whatever. God, what would you even add, dude? Like, how big of a boss can you really have to fight at the end there?
Well, it's like the way that the invasion system works. It's more about like how much did you kill in this amount of time. So my guess, and this is a guess, like for clarity. I'm just guessing. I don't know. My guess is that it will be like you get 1,500 points and then you get the platinum reward.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that would make sense actually. Yeah, this sounds a lot like Destiny's like public event system.
Yeah.
Where you get bronze, silver, and gold, which is like impossible. Like you have to try really hard to not get gold in those events.
Yeah, but like you think about it, the invasions like. Gold invasions at this point on my main are almost worthless to me. Like, most of my gear is well above what... Like, I'm not super geared or anything. I'm like 650 item level on my main. So, I've been playing it super casual this expansion. But, like, there isn't really much in the way of gear that I can get out of them at this point. So
it makes sense.
And, like, I can just plow through. Like, I could probably get at least silver on my own in a garrison invasion at this point, just because of the amount of damage that I put out. That's just how it works out as time goes on. The faster
I'm
you
certain
kill
you could
things,
do.
the more things spawn.
I'm certain you could do better than that because I got silver on my own with shit gear.
Oh right.
Because I didn't know that.
I don't think I could get gold, but I could probably get silver pretty well. Like maybe 700, 800 points I could probably get on my own.
Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, looking forward to that. The other thing that was interesting was the Twitter integration. It's one of those things that I would look at, and normally I'd probably be like, I could just screenshot and just push the image. Why would I do that? But having played Destiny now for so long and using the built-in share function, like I love that function. Sure, the PC I have more flexibility. I could sit there, take a screenshot, do all that stuff. Technically, I could do the same thing with Destiny because of the way that I play it through, by porting the signal in through the computer and everything. But it's just so much easier just to hit a button, just boom, done.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since the PS4 share now has like direct YouTube upload too.
Yeah,
like you don't have to put it on stupid Facebook anymore.
God, what even? It was like Facebook had a deal for like exclusivity for like a month.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is.
All right, guys. We're Sony Entertainment. We're planning out our video publishing strategy for the PlayStation. I'm like, okay. All right, we want to do live streaming. Let's do Twitch TV. Yes, Twitch. That's a well-known name in live streaming. We should definitely do Twitch. Yeah. But we should also have regular videos. Yeah, so we should work with Facebook.
Yeah, I know that name. Yeah, let's do that. My daughter uses that. We should totally use it.
Yeah. I've heard the word Facebook before. We should use that.
Sorry, no, I shouldn't even say that. I should say my 30-year-old daughter uses that.
Yeah.
Her daughter does not, but yeah, it is.
It's just super handy. Like, you push a button and you're like, tell my friends about this. And like, as I mentioned before, talking about future plans for World of Warcraft, I'm not gonna like leak anything through this stupid little podcast. Like, there are a million better places for me to talk about anything, and
damn,
as
bro.
it stands now, we're not talking about stuff. Well, I don't want to get in trouble. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I don't want to get in trouble, and then like, best case scenario, not be able to do the podcast anymore. Worst case scenario, get fired. These aren't things that I want to do, but I have gotten a chance to poke at the Twitter functionality, and I think it's really cool.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I more or less live on Twitter, so
yeah.
Like, as soon as I even heard that Twitter functionality was a thing that was going to happen, or that was being considered to happen, like really early on, I was like, yes, yeah. Win, yes, win.
Please,
yes, when
please,
can I have this? Win, yes. It's going into tomorrow. I want it tomorrow. Actually, could we speed that up to today, please?
Yeah, it's such a simple, and it seems like it's such a simple thing. Like, why would I ever use it? But once you start using it, you'll see. Like, it's just too easy. To do.
Well, and like, even like Rift has Twitter integration, and like ages ago, I would get constantly like tweets from a bunch of people that just had hashtag Rift in them, and I'd be like, why is everybody randomly hashtagging Rift in their tweets to me about World of Warcraft? And it turns out they were just using the Rift built-in Twitter. Like, I mean, why wouldn't you? Instead of tabbing out to use actual Twitter, just tweet from your thing.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah, the WoW Twitter functionality has that. It definitely has the Blizzard polish to it. I'll put it that way.
And just because that's a really good point you brought up Rift, because I just did a search for hashtag Rift, and I'm looking at what looks like just in the past hour, probably about 3 or 4 pictures that are sent out, and this is for a game that is not in its prime.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
So that's I'm very interested to see like what the engagement is like on that. I really actually wish that Instagram had an API so you guys could do it there and just completely destroy it.
Instagram just falls apart.
I know. And then the other thing that I thought was fairly interesting that we'll obviously talk very in depth about is the tradable tokens for you could buy with money and then you could trade for gold.
Obviously, we'll talk very in depth about that, and by we, I mean you, because as soon as we get anywhere near like the finance side of things, that's when I just say, nope, I am not even touching that. This is like, there are now 43 departments involved with this. I am not. I don't know how many departments it is, but no, like this is a topic that I will not comment on. I'm just saying right now, I will not be commenting on this.
Wait, what else? Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. This is, it's such a big thing that I feel was introduced in a way that was just kind of like, we have a bunch of things happening, let's just do a summary on all these things. This thing is so much bigger than all the other things. And it's like, it just gets to squeeze it in there just to test the waters to see what happens. And everybody is like, it's Plex. It's freaking Plex for WoW. And it is, I think it's a really cool thing. I'm the kind of person that like, I'm terrible at making money in WoW, right? Making gold. I'm sitting on like 3 pieces of crafted true steel gear that I had the first piece when they were selling for like 20,000 gold, you know? I put it up and it didn't sell, and I was like, well, go and wear it. Because I am terrible. I have no patience. I can't with that kind of stuff. It's like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to post something and then come back 12 hours later and it hasn't sold. So for me, it's like, you know, it's like, that's great. I've done this before with pyrium or pyrite ore or whatever. I did the same thing with that. I hoarded it, and I didn't sell it, and I didn't take advantage of it. So it's like, yeah, if there's an item that I could, buy with, $10 or whatever it is, I have absolutely no idea how much it is. I'm actually basing this off of Grand Theft Auto numbers. $10 for, 500,000, US dollar or whatever GTA money. Yeah, if I could buy something for cheap and get gold, and it doesn't be a significant amount, but just like, enough to help me, I don't know, maybe pay for the mistake I made in a zone with like, one of my buildings, and I want to swap it out. And that costs, like, what was it, $5,000 or 5,000 gold or something like that? Like, that's something that I would definitely probably throw down for, because it's me paying, however much money it is to go and experience completely different or new content in a zone that I've already cleared content for. And that's just an example of how I'd use it. I don't expect you to comment on any of this stuff, of course, but I think it's neat, and I'm interested in hearing more about it whenever you guys decide to talk more about it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I'll really say about it is, obviously, like, I'm literally just going to basically restate what was said in the post, but other online games have tried that. Like, WildStar has Cred, Eve has Plex. They've worked out, those systems have worked out well, especially in Eve. Like, so many people are like, Plex is the best thing that ever happened to Eve. Like, it would be really dumb of Blizzard Entertainment not to at least look into it.
Yeah.
Like, at least investigate. And maybe the decision is, well, no, actually, we think this is the wrong fit for our game. Maybe the decision is, yes, we want to do this. It would be dumb not to have that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've talked about this before with Blizzard. It's like Blizzard is able to look at the industry and say, hey, that's a thing that works. Will that work for our game? Yeah. And they find a way usually to make it work. And that's, I mean, I want to ask because I'm curious, and I don't really know how much. Honestly, you probably don't know much more, and I will leave it at that. But it's still, I would like to know just a tiny little bit more. But looking forward to hearing more about that.
Well, maybe someday.
All right. Yes, we got some new info, folks. Someday. Did say soon. Oh man. So yeah, that's about all I'm doing in a while, really, just garrisons and such. Are you did you do the Crota raid yet? Probably not.
No, I don't even have the DLC.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I'm kind of over Destiny at this point.
Dude. All right, now. So I've slowed down a bit, but you could blame like little indie games I keep going back to, and obviously WoW garrisons.
Yeah, like I've been pouring all of my time into, all of my game time has been going into WoW lately. Yeah. Like I just got my priest to level 100 and started like gearing him up and working on my warrior and my mage. So like I've just been playing WoW like crazy lately. So I don't even have time for Destiny really outside of that. And like I don't know. I feel like Destiny is a tough game to play kind of casually past a certain point. Like, you get to the point where your only real progression left is either hoping for crazy shit to happen in the Crucible, which the Crucible, I enjoy the PvP in Destiny, but I hate the gearing system in the Crucible so much that I couldn't really do it for long. Like, oh, you might get a legendary engram, you might get something cool, or
I know
you can get
legendary engram,
yeah. And then when you get it, it's like your 5th sniper rifle, and you're like, this is worthless. Why would you ever give me these?
I know.
And then getting into the raids and stuff, like you have to do the weekly nightfall, to get the strange coins to buy stuff, and you have to do the raid, and that's basically the only content left for me on the PvE side of things at this point in Destiny. And I'm not geared enough to do the raid. I'm not even geared enough to do really the
Vault of
well,
Glass.
I guess I did get to 27 after that time that we did it, and I just died a million times. I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll find a way to get myself to level 27. Fortunately, I had picked up a piece of gear in there on that run, so I was able to to
Oh, good. Level it up.
upgrade that. Yeah, and it's just like going to Destiny LFG or r/fire teams or whatever is such a dumb extra step to me that like I just won't do it.
Yeah.
Like I sure I could load this up on my phone or something, but I really don't want to. I'll just do something else.
Yeah, it is. So, but outside of the fact that you could solo pretty much the entire, you can solo the entire new raid, which I watched the guy do it, and it was, he didn't cheese it. He did it legit. It was definitely creative use of game mechanics. He was a hunter and he was a blade dancer, so he's basically stealthing, right?
I assume that he had to have like level 30.
Yeah, he was level 31, and then at some point he hit level
Okay.
32 in the video. I don't know. I think he like maybe redid it or something like that. But still, like some of the strategies that he was using, like, you know, it's like this. It works. It totally works. He didn't break the game or anything. But anyways, it definitely looks like a challenge, and it's doable by any class. And so for me, it's like this is like super hard mode solo gear, like solo quest, essentially. Yeah. Which I'm looking forward to going through and trying on my own. I just need to get. Well, actually, I just hit 31, so that's good. I actually need to level my Galahorn. That's like the shittiest part. Like if you don't have a Galahorn, like you're not soloing anything. Like which is if you don't know, it's like the best rocket launcher in the game.
Right.
It's stupid how good this rocket launcher is. But the mechanics that they use, it just blows my mind, man. Like, I've played my fair share of first person shooter campaigns, right? Or single player campaigns, and there's always like some puzzle thing that you have to do, right? And for them, the way that they worked in these this content, like the initial gauntlet, which is basically you running from point to point in the dark, and the longer you're in the dark, the slower you run to the point where you're walking. The whole time you have thralls like crawling all over you. So you're trying to defend yourself against that, and then these fucking holes all over the place that someone's gonna fall in inevitably, right? Like there's all these little mechanic things that they put in that just made it so exciting and going through it as a group for the first time. And now that we're good at it, it's still exciting to run through it because you can make a mistake and you can fail.
Yeah, I really loved the raid design. I just wish there was some sort of in-game LFG so that I could do that without having to resort to a outside website. Because I'm sitting on my couch, I'm leaning back, I've got a beer or a glass of wine or something. I don't really want to try and find a fire team through my phone or go over to my computer or something.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like I don't either. Like I still haven't completed the raid. I was really hoping we would, but I haven't attempted it that many times. I've only attempted it twice, I think. But Shizzle has actually completed the raid by pugging it multiple times over. A couple other people just went and pugged it. So it's once people get it, like you could do it, and it's fairly simple. But the thing is, like they have to use Destiny LFG,
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I wish that it was just, I wish that they'd put it in game. Just let it happen, man. Just do matchmaking.
I think I'm just spoiled because I'm used to WoW and having like LFG and LFR
for everything,
and then like now the new group finder is in, so I'm just like, yeah, I can just find a group for whatever. It's totally feel like doing a heroic raid, no problem. Group finder, find a group for anything. Yeah. And then you go and you look at like I get into Destiny and it just feels like such a step back to me that like. Even though I totally absolutely like it's 100% my own damn fault that I'm like so stubborn that I don't want to go on to Destiny LFG and find a group through that. Like there's no like actual legitimate reason for because the rate Vault of Glass was really fun. Like the couple of times that I've run that. It's really fun. I enjoy it. The encounter design is really cool. Like I like this. I'm interested to experience the Scrotum's End or whatever the raid is called.
I know, and like when I ran it with you guys, we were running with a bunch of Blizzard guys, and like people who have done
2 Blizzard guys, but yeah.
Well, that's a bunch.
It was
3
me
of us.
and me and another guy on my team, and then a friend of mine. And
I'm pretty sure all those people played WoW.
Yeah. Everyone's played.
Yeah, WoW. And that's the thing. It's like these are people who thrive on raid mechanics.
Yeah.
And you guys all you seemed very entertained, even though we were getting our asses kicked over and over again.
Yeah, for sure. Like, once you get that sort of like progression raid mentality in you, where you don't necessarily care about killing the boss on the next attempt, you just wanna live for another 20 seconds before you die horribly.
Get him down just a few more percent, per attempt or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's I actually want to jump in there and like try to do it solo on my Titan. I don't have obviously the benefit of going invisible, because it's such a test of skill, like timing and patience doing it that way. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. I do wish, you're right. I think at minimum what they should do for the old raid, add group finder.
Yeah,
like that. It doesn't make any sense for a raid that you can out level with vendor trash, to not have it LFG, so that way you can go through and experience it with like friends.
Yeah, and as much as I hate like the idea of every time I go to the tower hearing a bunch of like 12-year-old kids screaming about their, I don't know, hair or something, I just wish there was a little bit more social to Destiny than there is. It feels way too quiet to me. I don't know. But obviously I enjoyed the game for a long period of time. We talked about it nonstop.
Yeah. The Destiny, get your hopes up.
Don't get your ghosts up. Yeah.
Don't get your ghosts. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I put that in the title, and I think we saw maybe one comment about it.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody even saw that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Don't Starve multiplayer. It's out. It costs like $5 because it's got a beta phase. I played it for about 3 hours with the shizzle, and him having never played the game, we had an absolute blast. It was super easy mode, and I felt like he was getting bored, and I felt really bad. But then winter kicked in. And we just got shat on like over and over again, and it's like, okay, yeah, now here's the Don't Starve experience. Yeah, nice. So it's definitely worth picking up if you have a friend. Oh, but it should be worth noting, and I don't know if anybody else says I do. I play the game kind of half and half, PC or using a controller, because it's so well done on controller. The Don't Starve Together beta does not support controllers. So if you're a primary controller person with Don't Starve, which I seriously doubt there's very many people out there like that, it's not in yet, but obviously will be soon. So yeah, I think that's wait, actually, isn't this? Yeah, so if you're leaving next week, Christmas Eve or whatever.
Next Wednesday, yeah.
So you're not coming back until like January or something. So we're not gonna have another show here until, it seems like, about 4 weeks from now.
Yeah, like mid-January.
Yeah.
The next time I'll be able to record, well, on a Thursday, will be January 22nd. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Look at my calendar here. That's far.
Yeah, it's a month out.
Oh, okay. Wait, when do you return? You return like the 7th?
I come back. I come back on the 18th. So if you want to do one sooner than that, we can.
I don't want to. I mean, you're gonna be like jet lagged and everything.
I don't mean like get off the plane and do a show.
What airport are you going to? I'll be there with a portable mic, dude. We'll knock this out. We'll record on the iPhone.
Nice. I'll be like, I just spent 15 hours on a plane.
Wait, actually, oh no, I'll be in Vegas. Damn. No, I was gonna say, actually, I will be in LA. We could probably do that, but I forgot. I'm going to CES, and that's in Vegas. Yeah, buddy.
You going to see what?
CES.
Oh, CES.
Yeah, CES.
I thought you said you were gonna go see like a show or something.
S the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Going down there. This is kind of a neat trip for me, because I'm not going for content. CES isn't really a place that you'd go for gaming content necessarily.
Yeah.
It's like all hardware. I'm going mostly to basically go to all the sales meetings with our sales team.
That does sound exciting.
It's great. No, it's really great because it's. I'm going
to a convention for some meetings.
You're right. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes, I know. It's just like it's I grew up in sales, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like real work. So it's kind of neat to go into sales and be that guy who's not the sales guy, you know? It's like, oh, and you know, Mike, he just makes videos. He's not in sales at all. Like, and I can be like, yeah, dude, yeah. So this is a good idea. You should totally do this. No, it's basically the neat thing about going here with the sales team is that I get to get kind of a firsthand look at that side of the business, because sales and content are completely different. Like when you go to do stuff for content, you're obviously looking at the surface of everything. When you go and look at, when you're going as sales, I'm gonna get to meet all the PR companies that are pushing these games that we're all talking about, and see what kind of angles they're looking for when they want to push these games. Like what kind of creative stuff that we could come up with on how to promote a game. And so that's what's interesting to me, is like, you know, meeting with those guys and getting a glimpse into that side of the business. But yeah, that might just be me or whatever.
Well, enjoy your business meetings.
I sound so stupid.
Promote some synergy. I really want you to strengthen that ecosystem.
Oh, good. Someone's gonna say something like Twitterverse or something. Oh God, I don't even know.
Blogosphere.
Yeah. Someone's gonna say something like that, and I'm gonna be like, God damn it.
What we really try to do here is we try to think outside the box and
paradigm breaking.
We're really trying to shift the paradigm here and, you know, just sort of move together into a new social guerrilla extreme marketing.
Oh God, guerrilla. Yeah, I've actually heard this in a real meeting.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm not excited. Thanks, dude. You just killed it for me.
Well, good. I'm glad.
All right, well, I guess that does it for a long time.
Yeah.
I'll miss you.
I'll miss you too when you're gone.
I mean, I'll be here, but you know, I'll gotta find something new to do on Thursday night.
All right. Goodbye forever.
All right, well. Are we gonna do that thing? It's like, no, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
You hang up.
All right, I'm hanging up.
All right, wait, 1, 2.